Hi guys, this is 100 Megamet, and you know how when you translate things through Google through multiple layers and Google just royally screws it up? Oh, this is going to be fun. So, a very lovely fan fiction called Nine the Savior Returns is getting this treatment. Alright, so since Google, sadly, didn't translate it all the way, and of course my narration stopped when I needed it to not stop, so I was so close to being done with the chapter. But anyways, since it didn't translate all the way, on certain parts where Hawaiian comes up, because a part of that layer of that glorious translation fuck-up onion is Hawaiian. So, since the parts that are in Hawaiian that I obviously don't speak, I will replace those with a random English word that pops to my head. And don't worry, I'll leave the actual story in the description. I highly recommend that while I am reading this, you guys go and read that to see how badly Google has fucked this up. And if you liked it, please leave a like down below. And if you have any comments or suggestions, there's a little beautiful comment section down there too. And subscribe, dude, if you want more. Tell me if you want more, okay? So let's say 200 likes. I can do another one. How's that sound? Okay, so I'll shut up now and I'll get to the reading in just a second, alright? See you guys then. Alright guys, I'm back. I've changed every Hawaiian not translated into English word into a randomly thought English word for me. So, this is gonna be fun. Let's get started. Aching feet the UA killed because the hardness of his heart. I think I am going to be as close to your chest. L apparently mile or great church and the mile, and it could not come fast enough or the speed of movement. But I will have to go through the council from the church. You must know the laws, fucker. He went to Spain at the top of shit minerals and the tree next door. He ran to the house of prayer. Warm, welcome hellfire smoke and dance into the night sky. Unfortunately, this is the music of Halo. Heel's flame was at the time in the home in prayer, because in the short time they run the sleep lump. Okay, that last part was suggested by Microsoft. So I guess Google and Microsoft are a little bit drunk today. Okay, back to what I was reading. The smoke and flame obscure vision, desperately waiting for the church, no notice, works. Over the sound of the fire, the client application could hear his screams of terrorism. His life was, and I sucked his friends from his body. I fell on the floor, and indifferent life, it is standard in my preserved Dan monster, on the side of her nana. Nah, man, nah. And their cries into the world not to panic about the SAIA, but what you see, I cannot find it. For his sin and sin I was a monster and not able to accommodate the hooker. Now you will suffer. For hearing a lot burns his coming hope instead of destroying them, but put on the wall long wooden table only to take shares, offering cumbia, so strong male contact tore wall. I stopped working on the floor of the forest fire, blackened mile, gasped in horror as his eyes widened among other things. A very whore I know. Cheers, Chinese, nor Robbie was on the run. And where they went, small body fell out of the claws of iron, the spark of life still around red eyes, and absorbed the spirit. The body fell to the ground, at least 4 to combine their place in compilation. Spirit in the country. His body fell to the floor where he lay dead, brother, high 0.3. I know him and gasped at Kona coffee, all his offer on the lying Kona break, ancestors Hulu. Lay on his back to maintain an 8 inches single quotation mark, 8 inches from the goalkeeper, try ho your army, so I like into his open mouth breasts, grotesquely, in his fingers touched nearly 1.6, laying on its side, the whole ink, breaking his hand. The 5 closest to me, among others, eye patch flame lies, laying on his back until now the hopes of killing him, time to reflect, outcropped, realizing that his best friend had halo. I ran in out of his body, and Dan had his hand on his chest. 5 shook it, knowing it was useless. Ho way for ho head. And then a familiar voice War 1 used. Cosine 7. Skull met ran audacity in face of quotation mark spear in his hand. His body is white, pale, orange, yellow, red, brown, and yet I burns his body. Manufacturing certified woman and stitch punk KOA escape confidently, aggressively taking the claws of the grace of life to do it. I mean, they call it, among others, to destroy the talisman, can seek the spirit of the digital. ... or otherwise known as ellipses. Immediate anger overwhelming for many metals, including Page in his talons. His spear into the fire, then shot. He fell to the floor and used it. No! Try our strength! Panic alarm. Kona 4 run. I have no 7. Please kill people whether they thought weakly. Rhythm of fire, try to grow warmer while riding in them. Try our 7 is dead, try to save 7 before... try to save ellipses 7 before hello him alone. But we can keep the office for a long time over the remainder of the body of his knees. Weakness and pain overwhelming. Talisman glowed strangely grass as IKEA forces Hawaii Temple 27 From the outside, 3 mantra long before the ship in the light bomber, my strength, Two-Face, CGI jerked involuntarily, and milk from life and his spiritual strength, sex ed in the body, finally put on the earth can take away the first. Widened eyes went to work. 7. Give your heart poke smoking. Ah, hi. Many hills and a kill. No, how I cried, flame swallowed him. No. Light breakfast and war. Production replaces arrangements at the new encyclopedia. P.O. Blow, flowing through the city. The stars shine in the darkness, calm atmosphere. P.O. Ram stitch punks. Fires go all 9 had not arisen. For just sit and meowed, heartbeat rapidly and fiercely rational. His fingers were trembling hard for me to consider sept. Me, Vulcan. His hands, palms, waist. Echo screams, just, quotation mark, just, quotation mark, hanging over the AFPO anus left. He blinked, trying to figure out his place. If I, a Hawaii to the Minister Church in Hanover, but leaving the outside world. 5, 7, kill 7 people. Sorry. The outside world, Ulysses. 5, Ulysses 7. Ulysses 7, kill people. Ulysses. Quotation mark, 9, quotation mark, question mark. A voice cried, when I do, I know. Sorry. Search falling man. Frowed by masturbate 7. Eyebrows applied to male no is anxiously 7. Quotation mark. Bright eyes unavoidable problem on 1 trip in 3 poke pain and durable my hoe in the navel of the earth until the cold night. Maker. Sorry. I will get to the drunken Microsoft Google translated version of this. I will. I shall. Oh, sorry, he quotation mark, he groans, avoiding the eyes most around us, the state of panic and out of the council. Well, go to sleep. Apparently by drunken Google standards, this is something 7 would say. Okay, 7, I found 3 miles. Emery, one hand and calm stroking his shoulders. They looked at one another, but against her eyes behind his pain on the 7th, the twins were mute. Be sure to go to sleep. I turned 9, mutilate another. The position of the eyes, trying to wash away the kind of rubbing his yes idea. The right to dream, he thought, was just a dream. Ellipses, I understand. Ellipses, we are individuals. Ellipses, well, ellipses, Mo. Quotation mark, 9, quotation mark, question mark, in mute, said. Then his hands resting on his knees before it becomes easier, calmer. Then M. period, I-N, sorry, period, in period, period. However, rise again. Mute this. Do you know him? Finds and therefore pulled FBI, but the Atlantic things about you. What Atlantic things about you? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Atlantic things about you. Sorry. I asked. Client application looked troubled, and she looked at him impatiently. Nodded impossible. Trying to keep control, shake hands. I went kidding. Ellipses, okay. 7. Oleander joke. Google, you're drunk. I'm sorry. This is just ridiculous. Okay, sorry. Oleander joke. With the dream, no, he said. Finally derail his body, unguarded, and focus on the trees. In pain is hope. 7A, his hand on her shoulder, and homophobia. Somebody help me. Somebody please. There's more! There are 2 pages more. Okay, we can get through this. Okay. You puss moan, he asked. Nobody. Attack helicopter can absorb the hands. 7A Honda looked strong, but then go. It untied. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. Hound. Ha, gentle. Peeled Yukon, desolate silence. 9 miles, Emery, when they are unavoidable in heaven. Okay. Unavoidable in heaven. That's fine. I looked at the star only once, called one another every time you stop in L.A. homosexually, his neighbor. On his back, abs and high memories and the life, 9U round. And shut his eyes. Oh wow, Drunkgoogle referred in a fanfiction of another fanfiction while drunkenly translating it all over again. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sorry, trying to fall asleep. Pure holy sex. 7. 5 and all complete terrible problems lie in the remainder of the P.O. Loft Booths was ended abruptly, and the truth, question mark, as I gently on his shoulders shook his consciousness. Google, you can't shake consciousness. Sorry, I'm trying to logic this. Never mind. 9, so accustomed to the sound of the trumpet, let them go, to move WY years. I eat, I said, half asleep, and when in Mall Dan, and sat down and drive yourself, I know. Well, good morning, not one. 7, Alpaca loved, smiled at him, united first and after a little tired smile. Good morning, I said, standing in the forest, yawns as I do the follow. 7. Nowhere? He sounded very close. After receiving the 7 frowned, and his chiefs lost. In the eyes of 9, but he was worried about you. Look at me, I'm afraid, P.O. You all. Yeah, buddy, show, dread 7. And it among tried to smile, but I know I cannot do anything. I wearily turned his head, rub. That's it. Okay. Let's just pretend this is Google reading to Microsoft. Let's just do that for the rest of this. Paying you, Kona Coffee. And Morning Glory 7, understand the war, hope, coughing, calming smile to give, wink face. Had to shake her head to learn. He said, I think I know I shall handle, knitting his eyebrows, home anger, 9 weeping, carrying 2 small children, but has about random. He fell on his face in the world, leading on the wall, jadedly hoped in him. The new wave of poncho rushed at him. I remembered the terrible night design, how true it is, that evening and the warmth of the fire to see the land. I hope the days I security 7 and 9 and Emery system 7 skip scattered over the earth from the rebel and that clearly passionate 7-9 smiled and laughed. Randy, just the Paula. Lies with yourself and go quickly, his eyes alit mile still. How will I widely padded 0.9 will be there in IKEA exotic, every charming they did, my hoe antelopes them. The smile slipped from his face and looked at the earth. 9, I know one thing bothered 7 and his eyes and how the rapid changes. Hana Moon. He looked through and then save him, ashamed to see him. Like me, many of them open trial. Well, ellipses, in energy, but about the life of a hard, ellipses, in pain, and hopes into the air before continuing. Now that I can kiss now more, ellipses, just for a second time, the calm in his eyes, and cried, Rhonda, again, opened his eyes as my 7 make her hands in his life. I know 9, but like I have a bond with you, course yes, quiet now, but anything can be done, but have the professional singers, and we hope to call the house now, I said uncertainly, and gripped his hand tighter. Trainer taped it. They walked hand in the darkness and the threatened rain. 7 take a careful look at them before they turn into the young man who kept the animals Emery. The situation in this PO rest, low energy, 7 said. Look in the eyes of the sacred word puzzle. The sacred word puzzle mile on the face. We mail is above. We mail is available. Ellipses, 9 began worried voice. I know that Hale received 9 law and the word of the contract, I said, but I only twins there, 'cause fatigue in the morning, the client application to go through more than 5 weeks old, lying in the middle of the night, brick children's son. When we think, and 9.4 staying in the tattered book and wait 1 minute. Topics discussed the goodness awful stains of blood is high. 3 sitting in overstated and ham face and cried Rhonda. Who is Rhonda? I'm sorry. Well, we are now beginning to soften me in the evening as fuck.
which were presented to the homepage of them in the two youngest children. Face oddly empty. 7 grinned. Thank 9. Smoking is appreciated. 9. I see him. Give him a smile. 2 Stitch Punks. No Emery. 34 lacked hand, which was floated on the whale. Langor forgotten for some time, and the joy of the game to me. That night he sat down to rest hound, converging them. I am the eyes of the owner who saw the car Rusty puked. 9 there found some old flannel sheets. Alia clean. They nest in the corner of their safety and security. First, a 9 like me 7, the only moon in the sky. Crease at Emery, the client application sleep. 7A to Kona Coffee, and his return Kona Coffee 9, but without AIA, among others, a ala, deaf to idolescent hamster on the chin and forearms, it Uncle Star in a hole in the outcropping. Barbour was elected before the world life. 5, he said quietly, among others, not twins 7 and more. Slip on something in the Yukon whale friends seemed I need a lot of help, and I know I do not know what to do. I will go tell me for the coming month. All quiet, 9 glass to find this just what pause losing this for not long homosexually 5 harsh man has grown into a close answers given way. He poked coke. I can coke. Sad eyes 7A well received more rest. For many familiar with them, what a fool, only professional leadership more than one, and he believed mo-ho their joints. Minerals' humble voice broke the silence screams and legs spread, the new insane in the world, and a lot of pause, my, for the rest of the passengers in the Union over his body. 9 into the lift, I 7A raise their hands, make touch his hand. This is a fast wanting to know deep but soft to the touch. 9 on 7 respect their neighbors, but many of the wounded were Lima horses, and look at the stars. They report IKEA me nothing. Seaside closed his eyes and blew up the charity tin body. 7 more tired autumn time, most man slumber. Oh, thank goodness it is over. Oh. Whew. That was a lot. Whew. Well, I won't do that again unless you guys want me to do it again. Wow. Mega Man out. I need a minute. I think my brain just exploded. 100 Mega Man out. See you guys later. Bye, my sprinklies.